We couldn't have a vlog about Porto if we didn't talk about port, obviously.
So not to offend you, I asked the three of you, which year were you born?
After you.
I'm 75.
I'm 74.
And embarrassingly, Philip?
96.
96. Well, 96 is a little bit boring.
Oh, sorry, Philip.
Fortified with our port.
Yes, can we come back tomorrow?
So port really came into being in the 17th century because the English and the French were having one of their age-old tussles, and the French stopped giving their rather nice wine to the English for a bit. So the English, desperate for something to drink at dinner, decided to look further afield, went to Portugal, very nice wines. The trouble is, when you're shipping wine from Portugal to England, it's a very long sea voyage, and a lot of it was going off. So someone in Portugal had the very, very bright idea of fortifying the wine with some brandy to help it preserve better for those sea voyages, hence where port came from. So while most of the port families and companies were British, the Dutch and the Germans also had a bit of a go-to at it and were very successful. And this is one of the most successful Dutch companies called Nieport, and they have been going since 1842. And we're going to go and see in a second their 5th generation owner called Dirk.
And we're meeting Dirk in the original Nieport tasting room, which I cannot wait to show you all. I am standing with Dirk Niepoort in the Niepoort, the old tasting room. And your family have been making port here for how many generations?
Since 1842. This is my father, my grandfather.
Oh yeah.
These are my two sons. This place is magic because it is what it is, and when you're going to see, we have changed a few things in the meantime, but with the architect, I told her, don't make it better, don't make it shinier, don't make it more beautiful, just bloody keep it exactly how it is. My father had it like this, and my grandfather had it like this, and I want it like this.
This really does feel like we've come back in time. Look at this, all of this history. One of the things I absolutely love about Dirk's philosophy here is that he's decided not to kind of modernize everything to make it all shishy and shiny and glimmering. And it still feels like we're going back in time. It feels so authentic. And I think to be able to resist the temptation to clean everything, make everything wonderful and swanky, you know, like some sort of hip London place, it's just brilliant. And it really benefits from it. It's amazing.
Yeah, the authenticity shines. This should be a film set.
It is Harry Potter.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
I feel that I am in the 1850s. If they ever did want to use these for port, then I think this would make an epic hot tub. I'm a big fan of posters. What does that mean?
It tastes to those who are wise.
Ah.
The wordplay.
And how old is this poster?
Oh, it's probably 100 years old.
Wow.
It gets better and better with every room. The tap room.
So not to offend you, I asked the three of you, which year were you born?
After you.
I'm 75.
I'm 74.
And embarrassingly, Philip?
96.
96. Well, 96 is a little bit boring.
Oh, sorry, Philip.
Make up for the personality.
It's good for people. 74 is very revolutionary because of the revolution in Portugal.
Oh, revolutionary.
Oh.
Okay, I like it.
See, all the best people born in 75. Any good ports made that year?
Yes, very good.
You see?
Look at her, she's so pleased with herself.
I am.
So we get a bottle of 75. Made bottles of
Oh, yes. Wow.
Come this way.
Okay. Oh,
This is the category called Garrafeira, which is aged in those demijohns. It's kept between 3 and 4, 6 years in barrel and then into those demijohns, and then 20, 30 years later it's decanted into the regular bottle.
How did you manage to get hold of so many 18th century demijohns?
We bought them second-hand 150 years ago. We don't know exactly, the north of Germany somewhere, apparently.
And they're still going strong?
Yeah, they're very weak, so we have to be very careful. This is the most expensive port ever sold. It's the decanter is made by Lalique, and it was auctioned for $140,000.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm not going to open that.
So this is the 7th generation of Niepoort. One of the best workers?
Oh, but it's the superstar at Nieport. Right, so you're having now a Radona 22.
Ah. Absolutely delicious.
Now we are having a Bioma. Bioma means it's an organic wine from our own vineyard.
I am wildly excited because not only am I sitting here sipping this wonderful organic red, but cheese has just arrived. I very much doubt Ollie's going to have any space for this.
No.
But I'm fine. And this is a Portuguese sheep's milk cheese. All right, Oliver. Just one teensy-weensy little morsel. There was a look of intense concentration there.
Whoa, you're gonna love that.
Whoa.
Yeah. No, it's really packs a punch.
It's quite all right. How is the cheese?
And I'm going to be trying the cheese with a 2006 rosé. And that's a powerful cheese.
Super powerful.
Oh, that is wonderful.
So this is Garrafeira 87.
Oh, I've been looking forward to trying this.
This is actually an original.
Gosh, that's amazing. So, you're about to try one that's older than you.
Yes. I mean, it doesn't take much. I could go down to Tesco's and do that in 5 minutes.
This is the 75. What do you think of this?
Can you live?
It's wonderful. It's taken me back to university because we used to, if you sang in the choir, you used to be able to get a bit of sherry and then a bit of port.
But I didn't know you sang in the choir.
I didn't really. I just turned up for the sherry and the port. It was wonderful. The world was so innocent then, and I didn't know what was about to hit it. And then, what happened?
Boom.
Boom. Yes. In the depths of rural Suffolk.
No, I was born in Glasgow. That's far from the depths of rural Suffolk as you can be. I think I could get dangerously addicted to port from the year of my birth. It's a beautiful colour. This is delicious for so many things. Great year. Thank you so much. It's been a joy seeing all of this.
Well, thank you for coming.
I hope we see you at La Lande one day.
pleasure.
Do come to France. Fantastic. Bye-bye.
I do wonder, when I look at piles of barrels like this, what would happen if one removed the lowest one?
Oliver, step away from the lowest barrel, please. Thank you.
Do you not think about that too?
No. Ollie single-handedly destroys Nieport. I can just see the headlines now. That was amazing. And I can't believe this. I am leaving with the bottle of 1975 port. Dirk gave me the rest of the bottle to take as the most generous gift.
You know you should have a sip of that on your next birthday.
I'm not sure how long it will last once it's been opened. I have to look
Let's
this
just
up.
have it tonight.
I think it may well be that we have to have it tonight. Oh no, oh poor us.
It's been such a fantastic experience. If you would like to do a tour here yourself, we're going to put the details in the website.
Yes.
Thoroughly recommend. And
Absolutely.
The port's to die for, it really is.
Okay, Ollie, have you got your walking shoes on? Because we're going to cross the Douro River on foot. We're taking the bridge.
Excellent. See you later. Hang on. Why are we walking? There's a train.
Oliver, You're not allowed onto that train. I said walk, I meant walk. We are standing on the Dom Luís I Bridge in Porto, which is world famous. And at the time that it was inaugurated in 1886, it was the longest bridge of its kind in the world at a whopping 172 meters. And what makes it extraordinary is that it's a double-decker bridge. Back in 1879, Gustave Eiffel of Eiffel Tower fame had put forward a proposition for this bridge, making it extremely tall but single story to allow the navigation of ships below. But at the time, Porto was already booming. There was a huge growth in the number of people who lived here, and the town realised that it wouldn't do for the future, that they were going to need the 2 levels just to cope with the growing population. So when they turned down Eiffel's proposition, they opened up the design of the bridge to a competition, and it was a Belgian firm from Brussels who finally won, but the man overseeing it was a disciple of Eiffel, so there was still that continuity and vision.
Eiffel himself, by the way, did this other bridge in the far distance behind
Yes.
the concrete one.
Not the modern concrete one in front, but just behind that.
Runs under the monastery over there. Less successful, that bridge, so we won't talk about it very much. It wasn't used for very long and it wobbled a bit.
Oh.
It wasn't his finest engineering moment.
Well, I'm glad we're not on the wobbly bridge.
Yes.
You're going the wrong way, Oliver.
Yeah.
We're going to Gaia.
Okay. This is where all the port houses have their homes and cellars and so forth. We're a little bit tired after crossing that bridge, but we won't talk about that, will we, Stephanie?
No, you needed exercise after your breakfast this morning.
Apparently today we're not allowed to show the fact that Stephanie isn't wearing high heels for all of the walk.
Swapping occasionally and then putting the heels back on.
So we are in Gaia on the other side of the river, which of course is where all the port establishments is. And you might ask, why are they all over here rather than over there in the sort of Porto side? And the reason being is taxation. So basically, the bishops who ran Porto charged quite a lot in tax, whereas this side of the river wasn't ruled by them, so it was more of a tax-free haven, I guess we'd call it. So hence, gradually over time, the port establishments came over here to the Gaia side, and there are now many, many of them, most of which are British. The other advantage of being on this side is it's a little bit cooler as well, apparently. Therefore, it's better for the port, but I don't think that was the reason they came. By the way, talking about taxation, when you look at those buildings over there on the Porto side, it does look a bit like Holland, doesn't it? Because they're very tall, thin buildings that go up a lot. And the reason being, again, due to the fact that the bishops like to tax people, the tax was based on the footprint of your establishment, of your house or your building, and therefore people would get the tiniest little footprint, and then they build high. Hence what we see over here, with these kind of mini skyscrapers off their deck. After all of that port, I'm feeling very nice indeed, has to be said.
Floaty.
Yeah, floaty. Talking of which, these boats here are the original sort of port carrying boats. Can you see? What country do they look like they've come from? Think about to our school history lessons.
A little bit Viking.
Yes, so they were inspired by sort of Nordic traders. Yeah, they've got flat bottoms to enable them to go over sort of more shallow water and so forth.
Because it's river navigation.
Yeah, river navigation. And what's cool is that each boat, as you can see, is from a different port house. We've got Taylor's Port, Dow's Port, Porto Cruise and so forth. And they race against each other nowadays, so they're still used, but for fun. We had a long debate as to whether to walk back 4 miles and miles up hills, whether to get the cable car.
We get our own carriage, Oliver, to whisk us off home for a cocktail. It does feel like your last part. You're very Cinderella about this. It's okay, Oliver.
Roller coaster in years.
Relax, breathe. This is a great way to see Porto and Gaia. Yes, can we come back tomorrow? Ollie seems to have spotted a shop and he is off. Just have a quick look in the window and oh, lots of things for the kitchen. This looks fun. I shouldn't be let loose in any kind of shops that sell kitchen things. Yes, I get... Oh dear.
Sorry.
This is absolutely typical.
Oh no.
It's the dyspraxia, Ollie. We don't count it. Perfect. No harm done.
I should take one of these home.
Absolutely. You should have a little bit of Portugal back at home near Barcelona.
Which size should I get? Obviously it's not for me, it'll be a present.
I like that one.
Yeah.
I think you want a nice big one, a whopper chopper. Lots of great different sized terracotta pots.
Oh, Stephanie, they've got what you like.
What do I like, Ollie? Oh, yes. Sadly, I don't like my own painting, but I do love all of the porcelain sardines they make here. Giant cactus. I like all the enamel, these lovely teapots. Look at this. So cute. And I can just imagine making a nice hot chocolate in here. But no, I feel that we have quite enough teapots at Lalande.
This is the kind of place where it's just great to wander around, isn't it? Look how beautiful it is.
Estão fora dos seus requisitos. Dia você
Look at the few hills, the blue church over there. Isn't that beautiful?
It's stunning, especially in this light.
But that's not the only stunning thing. This has possibly one of the most beautiful train stations in the world. It's just here.
That's
Prepared
the train
to be amazed.
station.
Yes, prepared to be amazed. This is a destination in itself.
No, I feel it's a bit blank without... Oh, no, I take it back. Okay, I don't need to get onto a train.
What do you think?
I'm speechless. I love it, I love it, I love it.
Don't worry about catching a train, just come here. It's amazing, the hustle and bustle. 22,000 tiles, all painted by a painter called Jorge Colasso, beginning of the 19th century. What an epic job he did. This has scenes of Portuguese history, including Philippa of Lancaster. Should we find her?
Queen Philippa, along with John I, John of Aviles, her husband, arrive in Porto, and there are heralds trumpeting their arrival. People are craning from buildings to get a better look at them. They're surrounded by ladies in waiting and followed by knights on horseback whilst they ride in on a couple of magnificent stallions.
Before we go, for those who know me, I always want to squeeze one more sight in. So before we jump in the car to go to our next incredibly exciting destination, I want to take Stephanie to see one final incredible jewel. And on the way, I've even seen this. Look at this.
I know.
There's so many historic buildings here, these kind of simple houses that actually when you look are just incredible. Look at the ironwork on his.
The tiles, I think the blue tile ones really get my heart every time. Every little street has got some new gem to discover. Can I say where we're going?
No.
Ollie has insisted that we view one last thing before leaving.
You have to dodge the traffic for this one, Stephanie, but what do you think?
Oh, it's worth it. Could these be the most beautiful tiles we've seen so far?
It's a relatively simple 18th century chapel.
Simple.
With over 15,000 tiles.
It's exquisite.
Unsurprisingly, this is one of the most photographed things in Porto, so we couldn't possibly leave without you seeing it.
Let's go and find out some more. It is the death of Saint Francis of Assisi. There he is, surrounded by his followers, one of whom is kissing his big toe.
It's absolutely exquisite, isn't it?
It is exquisite.
It just, with the sunlight, this place absolutely zings.
This is the perfect time of day to come and look at it.
Yeah. So this church, by the way, is called the Capella das Almas, so the Chapel of Souls. It's exquisite.
We are heading off, jumping in the car and going to our next secret destination, which, suffice to say, Ollie and I are wildly excited about. Basically an overwhelming pool of gratitude right now. But we are leaving Porto with quite heavy hearts. I could have stayed here the entire week. Just breathtaking.
Thanks so much for watching. And by the way, if you'd like to support us making more travel videos like this one, then please do click that subscribe button and then click the arrow next to subscribe for the drop-down menu and select the all option. That's the way to be sure you're notified about all future episodes.